All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining. As we're all jumping on here, if everybody wants to say hello in the chat, happy holidays. Um, and if you want to say where you're joining from, is this your first class of the year? This is actually the last class of the year for our virtual classes from Orcacia. So thank you for joining tonight. All right, oh yes, we have a good crew of people already. Hello from Ohio. All right. Happy holidays from Iowa, from Denver, from Colorado. Awesome. If anybody wants to share too your favorite holiday tradition, I love to hear about everybody's holiday traditions. I have, oh, Minnesota. I'm with you. I'm here in Minnesota too, and it is cold. Yes. Um, yes, snowy northern Michigan. Chicago is also cold. Yes, Massachusetts. All right. And you've joined many classes. Well, thanks so much. Vermont's probably getting a little chilly too. We got a lot of the northern states today. Nice to see everybody. So thank you for joining from your cozy home. Hopefully it's nice and cozy and warm wherever you are, whether it's the inside weather or outside weather. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice cozy warm home. All right. So today this is our holiday class. We're going to talk about holiday gifts. And it's a little bit different than our other classes that you've joined. It's a little bit less DIY oriented. We do have a diffusion recipe that I'm going to go through. But then we're going to talk about some of the more ready to use products that we have available with Orcacia. And then just some fun little hacks that you can do with that, or just ideas along with being able to gift them to people. But yes, so feel free while everybody's jumping on. Again, say hello in the chat. I love to say hello to everybody. It's nice to see where everybody's joining. And if anybody wants to share your holiday tradition. So for different holiday traditions, we actually have a winter solstice diffusion recipe on oracacia.com. And next week is the winter solstice. And now the winter solstice is extra special to me because my daughter is going to be 1 year old. So it's pretty amazing. I don't know where this year went. It's a whirlwind of the year. But I definitely want to celebrate. We're going to have a big party, of course, next Saturday, but and we're doing a winter wonderland theme. So this would be a great diffusion recipe that we might diffuse during the party. But if you have a winter solstice celebration next weekend, maybe you have a Yule log and have a little, enjoy the outside snowy weather, the cold. You make different baking items or simmer pots or light candles and do a meditation or however you like to celebrate the solstice, or if you do or not. But we're celebrating winter in general. And then the return of the light. I always enjoy that part of the winter solstice because then we can now focus on days getting brighter and brighter. And that is my favorite. But the winter solstice is extra special. So that is our diffusion recipe that we're going to make. So I have my diffuser ready to go. This is the lunar one, which we'll talk about more. I have it filled with water already. So I'm going to put that into the chat, the recipe for everybody. Okay, so you can follow along if you would like to. Okay, so what it calls for is 2 drops of balsam fir, which I don't know if anybody was on the Facebook Live with me earlier, actually last week, I believe. We made a holiday tree room spray, and I just love the smell of balsam fir in the winter time. This is my favorite wintertime oil is balsam fir. It just reminds me of winter. It reminds me of like those Christmas trees, and it's just that beautiful smell. Oh, I just love it. So if you don't have some balsam fir, I definitely recommend getting some of that, diffusing that in the winter time. It just makes you feel very cozy and invigorated a little bit more. And it just wants you, it encourages you to take a deep breath and really invite, those beautiful evergreens into your life. So it's only a couple drops and it came out quick. But since I love balsam fir, it's okay that I have a couple more drops there. All right. And then the next essential oil that we are using is cedarwood. And you can do Atlas cedarwood, which is what it calls for. If you also happen to have Texas cedarwood at home, that is great too. Just gets a little bit more of a woodsy aroma. I would say the Atlas cedarwood is a little bit of a lighter woodsy aroma. So if you really like that woodsy base note, you can add the Texas instead. So we'll do 2 drops of that as well. So we have our evergreen tree smell with the balsam fir, and then a little bit of that woodsy aroma with the cedarwood. And so balsam fir really invigorates us and, encourages us to breathe deep and take that breath of fresh air. Maybe inspires us to take a winter walk. And then that cedarwood is very grounding and calming and just really helps us to center ourselves. So especially when we want to focus inward a little bit, maybe during the solstice, and focus on our family and, staying cozy a little bit and inviting in that warm light that we're bringing back. So that is the cedarwood. The cinnamon is next. So we get that warm part of cinnamon, and cinnamon just is that lovely spice aroma. So just 1 drop, that's all we need with cinnamon. We just add a little bit of that warm spice. And again, we're adding another warm spice, nutmeg. So 1 drop of nutmeg. And that again encourages the warmth and coziness of the winter season. And the last essential oil, this is a very involved diffusion recipe, but it's gonna smell amazing. The last essential oil is mandarin orange, and I love mandarin orange. It just is a little bit more of a, let's see, it's closer to kind of that bitter orange aroma. So you get a little bit of the bitterness with the mandarin versus the sweet orange. And I just really like that because, again, the winter season can be a little bitter sometimes. Kind of the cold bites you, especially if you live in Minnesota or the colder states. You can, especially in Chicago, the windy city, along with the cold, it definitely hits you in the face sometimes when you walk outside. So just a hint of that with our beautiful solstice. So I gave mine a little swirl, but we're going to turn it on and we'll be all cozy and ready for class. So, I love that smell. You definitely smell the woodiness first, and then a little bit of that spice. Oh, and then the citrus really just helps to brighten it all together. So I definitely encourage you to try that recipe out. So the balsam fir, what was it for? So yes, that just really helps to refresh and renew us and get ready for the winter season ahead in this diffusion. Okay. Oh, it's doing an And I'll show you too that we have multiple colors. This is a pretty cool diffuser that we'll talk about. This is their lunar. It just looked like it was flashing a little bit. I don't want it to be flashing necessarily. Okay, let's move on. So the next thing that I'm going to add to the chat is our gift guide. So if you want to follow along, feel free to do that. I will drop that in the chat. And by the way, I help to write the monthly blogs on oracacia.com. So if you have any blog recommendations, want to learn more, do some more reading, and if you see that maybe there's something that you would love to learn more about, drop that in the chat so I can work on that for next year for you all. So this, of course, was recommended to do a little gift guide because people kind of like some gift ideas. So we're going to go through a few different gift ideas from our products to help inspire you maybe for a little self-care gifts. And maybe this is self-care for you, for a friend, for a loved one. But we just really like to encourage people to have a nice relaxing gift that maybe helps them during the crazy hectic holidays. So let's go through a few of them. And the first guide that I'm going through is for her. And again, if you have any questions, maybe unrelated to the products that we're talking about today, feel free to jump in and ask away in the chat too, because that's what I'm here for, is to be able to educate you. But the first product is our Island Retreat Kit. So this is one of our newer kits. And this one I just love because I think about, going on a adventure away from the winter season sometimes, because in Minnesota it can be a little bit long of winter, more than the 3 months that is usually allotted for winter. So I love to at least pretend. And these are Paradise, and we have Ocean Air, and we have our Citrus Burst. So all of these are super sunshiny, warm blends that kind of remind you of being in paradise at a beach, in warm, sunny days somewhere. And so they're great for diffusion. You can make room sprays. You can, if you like the aroma of it, make it into body care recipes as well. And so there's really a lot of ideas when it comes to this kit. So actually, what's the difference between using cinnamon bark and cinnamon leaf? That's a great question. So first of all, we're going to jump back into cinnamon quickly, if you don't mind. The difference between it mainly is the plant part, first of all. So cinnamon bark actually comes from the bark, like a cinnamon stick. That is actually the part that gets distilled versus the cinnamon leaf. So there's a little bit of an aroma difference, but the cinnamon leaf really smells very cinnamony. And then the constituents are a little bit different as well. Cinnamon leaf overall is they're both very warming ingredients. But cinnamon bark actually contains a little bit more of, I would say, cleansing action. So very good for cleaning products and things like that. So body care as well, but you really want to be very, very careful when it comes to cinnamon bark topically, because topical dilution, the max for that is a very, very small percentage. It's actually not even a 1% max. I can look it up quickly, I believe, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Cinnamon bark topical max. Let's see. I'm not finding it where I usually do. So I encourage you to look that up. But anyway, you want to be a little bit more careful with the cinnamon bark versus cinnamon leaf. So we really promote cinnamon leaf as far as topical use. But if you really like the aroma of cinnamon bark, it's great to diffuse and as well as for cleaning products. So hopefully that answers that question a little bit. But back into the island retreat, this is great for diffusion, even passive diffusions. So if you have like a salt jar, this would be great to gift alongside either a diffuser, or if you just have a nice little bowl of salts or a jar of salts, that would be really nice to gift it with. And if you want to make cleaning products, you could turn this into, a little gift if you have a friend that is really into cleaning. I don't know, somehow that's turned into my algorithm is maybe it's inspiring for me is to watch other people clean their houses, which is, I think is kind of funny that I'm literally watching other people clean their house, but it does get me a little inspired. And I would actually love to be gifted a whole little gift of cleaning products. So like scrubbers and maybe like an empty jar, glass jar that I can make my cleaning products with. I think that would be very cute. So maybe you have other friends or family that might appreciate that as well. All right, let's move on to some body care products, which are some of my favorites, is the Fizzy Bath. So has anybody tried our Fizzy Bath kit or any of the Fizzy Bath packets? We sell them in stores as well as, of course, for Acacia. But if anybody has tried, we have 3 different ones in here. We have our clearing Fizzy Bath, we have our calming, and then we have our Sweet Dreams. So Sweet Dreams is actually exclusive to this bath kit. You can't actually get this separately. So all 3 of these are like a deconstructed bath bomb. So when you're putting it into the bath water, it just fizzes up and foams up, and it's super fun. Of course, it's only scented with the pure essential oils, so it's completely natural, and you don't have to worry about any colorings messing up your bathtubs or anything like that. And it's also Whirlpool safe as well. So you do want to use it a little more sparingly, because I have used it in a Whirlpool tub. I rented a night at the hotel for my birthday, and I brought one of these along, and it really, really fizzed up a lot. So I learned my lesson with that, but it was fun. So this is a very fun little kit that we have now as far as trying out the different bath products, and it's super cute. So this, this is more for her, but I would say even younger, if you have, tweens or teens that like to maybe get into self-care a little bit and like bath time. And especially in the winter, I love bath time. So definitely a good one to remember. And then we have our lunar diffuser. So this is the one that I was using for our winter solstice. So the cool thing about this one, it's an ultrasonic diffuser. And like you saw, we have the different colors. So it actually has 7 different colors that you can choose from. So based off of, this is just the white light. It looks a little blue on camera, doesn't it? Or you can turn it off if you don't want any light. But it's you can also have it just kind of circle through the different lights if you want to just have it rotating. That's kind of fun, but you can also change it to your favorite color or whatever color you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling angry and you need some red. Or you just want to inspire more warmth into your room. I love the purple one, of course. It happens to be that purple is my favorite color, and then I work for Orcacia, which is, we really use a lot of purple with our branding, of course, because lavender is one of the popular ones. So it has a glass top and a separate thing that you saw that you can add the water to. And then it also has an on-off switch. It has 60, 90, and 120-minute settings. So really a lot of usage off that, or, different usability. So I really love this. So how long can you leave the essential oil water in a diffuser? Do the oils break down? Yes, great question. So the oils do tend to break down, especially the citrus oils or the top note oils, very quickly. So if you're using a blend that has a lot of citrus oils or mint oils, this one is a little more base note of this diffusion. So it's going to stick around for a good 2 to 4 hours. But you will notice if you are using something like a sweet orange and peppermint to kind of invigorate and get you going in the morning, maybe within that half hour to an hour, it starts to dissipate. They do tend to dissipate quicker, those top notes. So you could definitely leave the essential oil and water in the diffuser and run it until it's empty, but you won't notice the smell being as ideal, I would say. Especially the top notes do tend to dissipate and evaporate more quickly. So really the most ideal aroma is going to be within that first 20 minutes to an hour, up to an hour, I would say. And that's really the most ideal amount of time you want to diffuse at a time. So we have up to 120 minutes, and this would be more, I would say, recommended for a very big room with a subtle diffusion going on. So if it's something more in the background, that's great. But if you're heavily diffusing, something like what we just did, you want to maybe not diffuse more than an hour at a time. And then you'll want to refresh those oils anyway after about an hour. But you do want to kind of take a break and refresh your body a little bit too, because you're breathing it in and you're getting the beautiful benefits of the aroma and the aromatherapy, calming you or invigorating you. But then you kind of just want to give your body a little bit of a break as well. So that's kind of the recommendation with diffusion. Actually, in a couple months time, I believe it's either February or March, we have a deep dive on diffusion. So we are going to talk all about diffusion, the differences, and how to diffuse. So I definitely recommend joining that class when that comes up. But great question on diffusion. And then a question on if we will have any diffusers that have a Bluetooth app base. We have been looking at that. Yes, that is something that we would love to come out with. We'll see. I know I don't get all the insider info of innovation. They don't tell me everything. They kind of keep it a little secret. But I do know that that is one of the things that's being looked into, because that is very popular. And we would love to be able to infuse our diffusions into more of our everyday things anyway, because it just makes sense, because then we can hook it up to our music and be able to do a meditation or have our favorite music along with our scent. So it just makes sense. So we'll see. Portability, great question. So this one, it is a plug one. So all of these are ultrasonic, which I didn't mention about that. So ultrasonic means it's a cool, fine mist. So that actually helps to preserve the aroma of the essential oil. So if you're putting it into like a humidifier, that is a heated form, and that's going to dissipate a lot quicker. So that's the nice thing about using a specific ultrasonic diffuser, is that cool mist is going to preserve it more. When it comes to portability, you know, it is portable in some ways, but we do have another one that's a little bit smaller and it has a USB plug. So that could even be plugged into the car or your phone block. So you can grab that and take that anywhere. That one is the Orbit. So I can actually look that one up quick for you and put that into the chat so you can take a look at that one. Okay. I love all the questions. Thanks so much for asking away. Okay, so Orbit's in the chat. And then that gift guide has the direct link to the lunar. Let's move on to our fresh floral room spray. So this is another part of, along with that island kit that we had, is part of our air care line. So we have a new air care line. It's ready to use products that we really try to make in a familiar way for people to use. Especially if people are used to using more of those conventional, maybe air freshener type aromas. But, you know, so the names are going to be similar to that. So fresh floral, but fresh floral is actually a blend of 3 different types of lavender. So we have our true English or French lavender, Lavandula angustifolia. We have the spike lavender, which has a little bit more of a camphorous aroma, more refreshing, and that's great for cleaning as well. And then the hybrid in between those is lavandin, and so that's going to give kind of a blend of the 2 of those in that 3rd aroma. So just a really fresh lavandin-like aroma, or lavender-like aroma, and great for using in a lot of different ways. Really, these room sprays, you can spray them all around your house, of course, but you can also spray them onto sheets and linens. So this is a little fun use for the holidays if you're having guests come over. Definitely spray down a little bit of their pillow. Maybe you want to just keep this in their guest room and have that for them to kind of relax before they get into bed at night. Or you can spray down the guest towels with a nice light lavender aroma. And, you know, since it's essential oil based, that's the great thing, because a lot of those air fresheners, those conventional ones, you know, it's a lot of heavy perfumes and artificial fragrance, and that can bother a lot of people with sensitivities and allergies and give people headaches and all sorts of, you know, not great experiences. And you never know who's coming over to your house that might have that. And so it's nice to use a little bit more of a gentle, natural product when you are still wanting to have a nice aroma in the air. But this is a very giftable item. And the last one for her is our Chill Pill blend. So Chill Pill is a definitely popular one that we could, of course, all use a little more. But Chill Pill blend is a blend of sweet orange, lavender, patchouli, peppermint, sweet basil, and Roman chamomile. So you really smell the floral part of it, a little bit citrusy, a little bit of that basil, that herbaceous note. And it really does help to chill out your emotions. The peppermint in there actually is very cooling and calming to skin as well. So is the chamomile and lavender. So it's very soothing in skincare, but it is great for diffusion. It is a wonderful gift. So if you just want to, you know, gift one essential oil with a diffuser, I would definitely recommend the Chill Pill aroma. But we have a lot of great blends. Medieval Mix is one of my favorites during the winter because a lot of people do the Thieves blend. That is our version of that. And then let's move on to Guy's. So for him, we have a little bit more of a masculine room spray for him. This is fresh. And it has quite a few more ingredients blended together than just the three in the fresh floral. The fresh one has sweet orange, lemon, lime, turmeric, a little balsam fir, tea tree, petitgrain, peppermint, balsam Peru, pine, vetiver, Buddha wood, and a little rose. So you'll notice that it's a little bit more of those woodsy aromas. So that's helpful for guys. Really like that kind of more woodsy aroma, but I love it too. You know, we don't have to categorize into male or female or anything, but I know the gift guide does that a little bit, but it's really for anybody. So, um, but guys might prefer this fresh aroma. And it makes it easy then for them. They don't have to get into the DIY kind of thing, but you can gift them a natural product. And maybe you want to like make a beard oil with this, or, gift a beard oil already, or just, you can kind of create a whole little gift basket with that. The next one that I have for guys is also in our air care line, which is toilet sprays. So this is kind of a funny one. And maybe not the most typical gift, but maybe you're doing a white elephant gift. Or if you have a guy in your life that has a good sense of humor, but it's also a very practical gift. And especially during the holiday season, when you have a lot of people over, and the bathroom is a high traffic area, you want to keep it fresh for everybody. This is a great one for gifting or bringing over, for a host, or if you are the host, having this in the bathroom as well. A little hack on this, on our toilet spray, I love to add it into the inside roll of our toilet paper before we have guests over, because that helps to, when people are using the toilet paper, to get the scent dispersed a little bit into the air. You can also spray into the back of the tank. And so when people flush, they're going to get a little bit of that citrus burst aroma. This is also great down sink drains that start to smell, if you have, especially like a garbage disposal that, starts to smell if it's not being cleaned out, or if you have a lot of cooking and things, then the citrus burst is great to kind of spray down a little bit and freshen those drains. Also in garbage cans, this is a nice little one to add, a little spritz as you're cleaning out and refreshing those garbages or their trash cans. So little different ideas throughout your space. Okay. Great question. Will the room spray blends be bottled as essential oils for diffusing? Actually, we do have them as blends. So that was what we first came out with. And I can put that into the chat. Let's see, diffusion oils, there they are. Okay. So if you do prefer just the diffusion for those blend aromas, we have that as available as well. So great question. So that's the nice thing. We're making it, if people don't want to deal with diffusion, some people don't prefer that. They would prefer the room spray. Some people love the diffusion and would prefer that. So something for everyone. I'm going to turn this off because, again, after about 20 minutes, you start to get the full effects of the aroma. Okay. And then moving on, this is one of my favorite products. So we have it under the guys list, but this one is so handy. It is our shower tablets. This is eucalyptus shower tablets. It's a pack of 3 that you get in the box, but these are actually super travel friendly. So I'll just open up for you to show. And they're individually wrapped. So you can grab them along. You can smell a little bit of the eucalyptus. That is just, I love that when I shower. It's just so invigorating and refreshing and just really opens up those airways. So a great one to have on hand for the winter, but such a good giftable item. Great for like a stocking stuffer thing, or if you just need to add a little something extra. So that one, you can make a whole gift basket based off of eucalyptus alone, or if people really like working out or like the spa experience, maybe you're gifting like a spa experience, because I love experience gifts as well, but it's nice to give a little something else along with the experience. So it's kind of nice to maybe add that one to the list. And by the way, thank you all for watching. I will have a promo code, a special promo code that's going to get you 25% off anything on oracacia.com at the end of class. So make sure to stay tuned for that. So the next one that we have is our castor oil. This has been flying off the shelves. So I don't know if you have all been using the castor oil, but it's been very popular for us. Castor oil, especially in the winter time, very needed. It really helps with softening skin and helping to protect and, really get a little bit deeper into, and this one I think is closed still, so we'll keep that closed. But it's a really thick oil actually, and it really helps to protect and cover extremely dry skin. So especially those elbows and knees and feet. And so it's under the guys list because guys, might need a little extra help with the, maybe the foot area or even skin care. So, if their face gets a little dry and rough in the winter, or they, especially working with their hands, and they need that extra skin softening, skin protectant, castor oil is really great for that. A lot of people also use it as a scalp oil too. So you can mix it with rosemary to really help stimulate the hair follicles, and you can leave it on as like a little hair mask, and then you shampoo out. But it really helps to soften skin, and we have a 16-ounce bottle now, so a large size that's really gonna go far. So you can use a lot of it, and your guy can use a lot of it, so he can have some soft skin as well. Yes, great question on how to use the shower tablet. The best way to use it. So yes, you can add it to your soap dish and keep it away from the steam, or you're kind of keeping it away from the stream of water. So you can keep it in the steam, and then it slowly starts to disintegrate and again evaporate, so the aromas come out. So that's a more subtle diffusion, or you can put it directly into that stream of water right on the floor. That's going to be the most invigorating aroma and intense aroma of eucalyptus. So it's really however you prefer to use it and the intensity that you want. So great question on that. All right, and then the last section is for kids. So if you need some ideas, maybe you have nieces and nephews or grandkids coming over and you want some ideas on stocking stuffers and maybe a little self-care for them, we have a whole line of kids products. So it's all kid-safe oils. This is our kids kit, and it's 4 different aroma blends. It's targeted for kids ages 4 to 11. You can use it with younger or older. With younger, you do want to be more careful, just diluting it more, using a little bit less. And then of course, as they're older, they can, you can use it for all ages really. But the younger kids is the one that we have to be more mindful of. So that's why we have it. All kids safe oils. So we purposely keep out things like eucalyptus, peppermint, wintergreen, while those are wonderful oils, especially for respiratory support with adults, with healthy adults, they can actually do the opposite with younger children. And so we want to be more careful with that. So we actually have a clearing blend, which we also have as a roll-on. So this makes it ready to use, but you can also get the 4-pack, which has the clearing blend to diffuse during cold and flu season. The clearing one makes it easy to just roll on because it's been pre-diluted. You don't have to worry about diluting it in the right amount. It's already been diluted in apricot kernel oil. So it is a nut safe oil. If you do happen to have a kid in your life that has a nut allergy and you have to be very careful about that, we also thought about that as well. So you can just roll it right onto the skin. I like to add a little dot on my nose, maybe around my temples, and then you can use it as a chest rub too. So that can really help to let you breathe a little easier. And I actually love the kids blend. This is one of my favorite blends to use. And it happens to be the kids blend aroma because it has a lot of the tree oils, tea tree, manuka, pine. Those are the very refreshing and cleansing ones. So that keeps me protected a little bit more during the winter season. And then the 3 other blends that we have in here. Bedtime blend. So again, great to diffuse at nighttime for the kiddos, especially if they're if they're traveling and they're in a new setting. It just might help to ease them and calm them a little bit more to diffuse the bedtime blend, especially when traveling. But it's nice to just build that routine at home as well. And then we have our uplifting blend, which, the kids get all excited during the holiday season and don't have to worry about getting them up during then. But maybe during the school year, the uplifting blend can help, diffusing on the way to school or just in the morning time while we're getting ready. We also have the focus blend. So the focus, I'm sorry about that. It's trying to make it, there we go. Focus. So it has a little bit of the vetiver and a lot of citrus oil. So the citrus really helps to, get that mood brightened. But the vetiver is very grounding. And it's been studied with adolescent boys with ADHD to be helpful for that. So we can't make any claims necessarily, but we put it into our focus blend that can be helpful for transitioning from play to focus time, homework time, things like that. So if you have kiddos that maybe struggle with those transitions of the day, essential oils may be able to be a little helpful with that. All right, so that's the kids' aromas. And then we have a few kind of ready to use items. So we talked about the clearing roll-on blend. We also have the bedtime aroma in a bubble bath. So this one is super fun. Of course, kiddos love bubbles, and this one is very bubbly. And it also is, it has some mild surfactants, and they're all natural, of course. But you can use this as a body wash as well. So that's kind of the cool thing about that. It's been dermatologist tested, so it is very safe. Again, only scented with essential oils and diluted for a safe amount for that age range. If you have an extra sensitive kiddo, you just always want to have the best ingredients possible. So a great one to check out. And then we have the fizzy bath kit in the kids version. So again, we have our bedtime, we have our uplifting and clearing in the fizzy bath kit. So again, it's that 3 bath packets. And another little hack for the bath packets. So like I said, you can spray into the back of the toilet tank before you have guests over. This also cleans your toilets. So it not only cleans your bathtubs because of that citric acid, there's no colorings, and it leaves a nice, refreshing scent. So if you grab your scrubber, your scrub brush, and throw a little into the toilet, you can actually clean your toilet with this. If you put it into the back of the tank, again, it can help refresh as you flush. And the fizzy bath kits or any of our bath packets actually can work as a carpet cleaner because of the baking soda and the essential oils just makes a natural carpet refresher. So you just can sprinkle that onto the rugs or carpets. You want to wait 20 minutes and then vacuum it up and you'll have fresh carpets or rugs. So that's a little fun hack if you didn't know about our packets. So we have that in a 3-pack ready to go. And then the last one is our bedtime blend. So I'm ready for this. I don't know about you, but this one, of course, is a great way. Instead of diffusing, I have a 1-year-old and next week, which is amazing. But this makes it so I can spray kind of around her room, but not maybe diffusing directly with her. And so I get a little bit of a lighter scented aroma, just to kind of invite a little bit of calm into that space. So whether you prefer the, again, room spray or bedtime mist or diffusion, we have something for everybody. So I hope you got a little bit inspired by these gifts. Maybe you'll pick up something like that, or you help to round out your gifts for the holiday season. But I'm going to type our promo code into the chat so you can all get 25% off. So it is AC2590. You are going to get 25% off on oracacia.com. Also locally, I definitely encourage you to get out to the stores. So if you have a Whole Foods or a co-op next to you, or a natural grocery store, or we're in quite a few different stores these days. We're in more of the mass grocery stores as well. I definitely encourage you because there's a lot of sales going on, especially at Whole Foods right now. We have with Prime, actually, you're getting 28% off some of our products, and there's a holiday demo. If you stop into stores, you might want to check out your local Whole Foods. This week and next week, we're doing a fun little Oracacia holiday ornament. It's a snowflake, a wooden snowflake, and then you can make a diffusion recipe with that. And then you get a coupon in store too that you can pair with the sale. So get out to the store and get those last minute gifts. I don't believe, let's see. Okay. Oh, when is the next class? Great question. The next class is in January, January 23rd, I believe. Let me look at the date just to make sure. Yes, January 23rd. And it's going to be about winter wellness. So we are going to work on a skincare recipe, a chest rub, just inviting some wellness into the new year. So I hope you join us for that. Again, it's all free. We're getting back into the DIY products, so we'll have fun with that. But thank you so much for joining our little gifting class, and I hope you learned a little bit something today. And yes, thank you so much. Expiration on the code. I'm not sure of the expiration. There might be, but it will definitely be through the holiday season. So you'll have a little bit of time to purchase your products. So, from Honolulu, thank you so much for joining. You're in a tropical, maybe you need a little paradise blend, right where you are. You are in paradise. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you all have happy holidays, whatever you may be celebrating, but celebrating some self-care is very important. I hope you have a peaceful and wonderful, warm holiday season with friends and family. And we will see you next year. Take care.